Taylor Swift.
Oh, poor him.
I know. I feel.
He was humiliated by what?
He was humiliated by a Taylor Swift song called "Dear John." He thinks that the song is about him.
It is.
You know, like that, like you're so vain. You probably think the song is about you. And he says that he was so hurt after she penned this song after their time together, and the lyrics of the track include the words, "Don't you think I was too young to be messed with?" And he says it made him feel terrible.
He just needs to stop. He needs to fucking stop, then.
I like him, but he needs to get over it.
Yeah, you need to just get over that shit. You just can't. He has a reputation already. You cannot keep fucking around with people. Like we said, you can't be on a plane trying to dip it with some girl who's not your wife because she may be tweeting about it. Well, you can't be fucking around with young girls who write songs for a fucking living and then think that...
Everything I know about John Mayer is he treats women like Pokemon. Gotta catch them all.
Oh, wait. Except black women, because he said he's not prejudiced, but his cock is.
Yeah.
John Mayer.
That's right. He did say that. Oh, that was
said that.
Oh, black women can dodge the bullet, I think, because Lord knows what's going on with...
But gentlemen, would you all ever date Taylor Swift? Because every dude that done her wrong makes a mint.
I would not do her wrong. I would do her right.
I would do so right.
Yeah. John loves Taylor Swift. He loves him some Taylor.
Oh, yeah.
So John Mayer says he didn't do anything. He says he's good at taking accountability, and he never did anything to deserve that. And it was a really lousy thing for her to do.
Didn't he also say it was cheap songwriting?
Right, because he's never written about past relationships. Fuck you, John Mayer.
Too bad she didn't say his body's a wonderland.
Yes, exactly.
Jennifer Love Hewitt, was that the one? Her body was the one.
Love her, wasn't it?
I think it was Jennifer Love Hewitt is the one he wrote that song about.
Her rack is a wonderland, to be fair.
Yeah, it's quite a righteous rack.
She does.
I'm thinking of like circus rides and stuff. So we have no sympathy for John Mayer. No. Georgia has started a testing policy, a drug testing policy for people who receive unemployment benefits and other public aid, which I think is supposed to be illegal, like under federal law.
You did say it was Georgia, though.
It is Georgia.
It's state-based, I thought, because Florida did it.
Okay, so yeah, that must be what it is. So they can't do that under federal law, but Georgia's requiring it, and so far it's not very successful at catching jobless druggies. But what do we think of that?
They have plenty of time to hide it.
It flopped in Florida, and it's going to flop in Georgia because the majority of them aren't druggies. They're just people who are down and out.
Right.
Okay, but then I have a question. Okay, so if somebody loses their job and they do drugs, I'm not saying maybe they're an addict, maybe they're not, I don't know, I don't do drugs, I don't know how this works. But if you lose your job and you have bills to pay and you're entitled to unemployment because you've been working and you pay into, your employer pay, why does this, because you have a drug habit, mean that you now you're not still entitled to these funds for whatever period of time is mandated?
I think it's less that they're arguing that it's a violation of privacy, requiring people to take this test. But what they're saying, what their position is that failing a drug test can be interpreted as being unavailable for work. And if you're receiving unemployment benefits, the whole deal is that it's a stopgap, and you're supposed to be looking for work in the meantime. If you're doing drugs, then you're making yourself unemployable, I guess. So they don't. That's why the state is testing.
So this is where the country finds out that not everybody on public assistance is a drug-dealing, drug-taking minority.
Right.
Now, there's a bunch of white folks who just can't get a job getting food stamps and unemployment, and they don't do drugs, and oh, wow, look at that. Imagine that.
I guess it says, too, that Georgia businesses have complained recently that they have had trouble finding workers who can pass drug tests. But since February, when the Georgia Department of Labor started encouraging businesses to report job applicants with dirty urine, not a single one has done so. So either the businesses are just, maybe it's too much trouble for them to report them, or they were exaggerating the problem of drug-addled job applicants.
The interesting thing there is that if a company is doing a drug test, they send the person over to LabCorp. And LabCorp performs the test and then gives the results back to the company. So what the state could do is request that LabCorp send the results to the state. But obviously, that's not what they're asking. They're asking the businesses to do it.
Hey, wait a minute, wait.
They're able to get LabCorp to do it because
LabCorp have to report.
We've got confidentiality. We're not.
But wait,
do
the
it.
businesses, or let's say it's even LabCorp, these are only the results of people who have applied for jobs that are getting unemployment currently, right?
Well, this would be anybody who's applying for a job. You just said it was people.
Yeah, just anybody who's applying for a job.
Wait. So I need a job. I smoke weed. I fail a drug test. Why are they sending this to the government?
Exactly.
Well, they shouldn't be, but evidently the state of Georgia has asked that it be done. But they're asking this. They're asking the.
See, I thought it was just on people who are receiving public assistance, like unemployment or food stamps. I didn't think it was everybody who's unemployed. You apply for a job at McDonald's, and you take a drug test.
This part's voluntary, isn't it? The state has asked businesses.
Right. So the businesses have to. Yes. So it's the businesses are encouraged. Like, they're not required by law, but they're asking them to report applicants who fail the drug test.
Why?
I think that the businesses are saying, you know what, this idiot didn't get the job. We're not going to ruin his life anymore by reporting him.
But wait a minute. Are we sure this is applicants off the street blanket, or is this people who are applying for jobs who are getting public assistance? That just doesn't make sense to me.
We've got two different things going on here. They want to test anybody who's getting public assistance, but they've also asked all businesses that ask applicants to have drug tests to report anybody who fails. So it's two different things.
So what are they going to, that doesn't make sense to me, because what are they going to do? If Joe Schmo, John, off the streets, doesn't do drugs, you don't do drugs, do you? No.
Okay, so here it is. They're
applies for a job and fails, and then they turn it into the federal government or the state government. What are they going to do? Come get John?
They'll deny his benefits.
But that's what I'm saying. So this isn't everybody. This is.
But he hasn't applied for benefits yet.
So here's what the bill is. It requires drug screening and testing for all unemployment benefit claimants. But it sounds like the businesses are the ones who have to report it. So if the business if you fail and McDonald's doesn't care that you failed, or they don't want to take the time to report it, they're not going to.
Okay, so but my point is, though, it is people who are claiming unemployment benefits. It's not John, who maybe he's not getting any kind of federal or state aid.
Right.
It's a guy who goes out, he applies for a job, he failed a drug test. It's not being sent to Georgia.
No.
Okay.
He doesn't have to take the drug test. It's not for everyone even. It says it would require unemployment claimants to pass a drug test if they are identified in an initial screening as having a high probability of drug.
What?
So if people think that you're sketchy, then they'll be like, you need to do
It's like Arizona all over again. You know, like, that guy looks
That just means brown people.
This seems like a really problematic piece of legislation.
That means brown people have to take.
Is he sitting in the children's section? Test him.
Exactly.
Oh, well, same thing.
It just seems like it would be it's very subjective, you know.
Don't you like any legislation that's formed around, well, I'll know it when I see it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I know an illegal immigrant when I see one. I know a possible drug user when I see one. I know. It's like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and they talk about Florida here, and it turned out that only 2.5% of welfare applicants failed that test in Florida. So it was not very effective. And they put a stop to it on constitutional grounds. in Florida. So it doesn't seem like it's going to last very long in Georgia, I bet.
I think it's a waste of time and money, but oh well. That's what seems to be done.
Octomom is looking octo-wow. I have put the link in the chat, and you can click to her picture.
Do you want me to click it or no?
Oh, I really don't want
It's not.
She looks good.
It's
All right.
it's a safe picture. She's not doing anything.
Her boobs look fantastic.
Because they don't look real, but I mean they're working.
I don't know why people
video.
listen. I don't know why people keep hating on that woman. It's done. Those babies are here. She has got to feed them, and if she needs to go play with herself in a porno to feed them babies, that is none of my damn business. People
Please do. Please do.
You know, people who don't even live in California are complaining, oh, taxpayers are going to have to pay for those babies, whatever. The people of California don't want to pay for her 15, 16, however many kids she got. If this is how she's going to make her hustle to feed those babies, then everybody needs to shut the fuck up and leave her alone. That's how I feel.
And their therapy is going to cost a lot of money. So
A lot.
And she needs, and she's not asking the state to pay for it because that was the big concern. Who's going to pay for these kids and blah, blah, blah. Nobody's telling you how many damn kids you can have. So just leave her alone. Let her do her little porn. I think she looks fantastic.
I think she looks pretty good. Guys.
As long as she uses protection. We don't need no more kids.
She looks better than I expected.
Well, that's Photoshop.
I'm just glad that wasn't the picture of her covered in them damn SpaghettiOs. Nobody wants to see that.
I'm not going to ask either.
And here's
that was part of her, Barbara and Alex.
Oh, damn it, I asked!
Yeah. If we know, you need to know. That was part of her her photo shoot or whatever. There was she was laying out on a table covered in or surrounded by SpaghettiOs.
Oh, God.
covered in SpaghettiOs, I think.
Chef Boyardee? I mean, what was the
SpaghettiOs.
what was the theme with the spaghetti? I gotta know now. I mean, I'm in. So.
Well,
I guess because she's an Octomom, so you know.
Kids eat SpaghettiOs.
I said that's all she can afford. All them damn kids, all she can afford is SpaghettiOs.
I think my favorite comment was Julie's because she was like, wait a minute, was it the kind with the meatballs? Because that's all. I understand.
That shit's delicious. Someone said about the Octomom, why is porn rock bottom? Crackhead is really rock. Wait, let me get it right. Messy crackhead. Messy crackhead is rock bottom. So in other words, her doing masturbation porn, which I still contend is not as bad as penetration porn.
It's all good.
Necessarily. It's not. So we all know my views on making out. So I'm not the best person to ask.
Not with herself. It's fine.
But anyway, she was just saying, someone on Twitter was saying that
your hand can't impregnate you, so it's good.
Yeah, she was saying that doing porn isn't the Octomom hitting rock bottom. If she was a methy crackhead, then that would be right.
But there's no money in that. There's no money in methy crackheads, so.
Unless you're doing
Brian Cranston.
Crackhead is what you're offering in exchange for crack. Is that?
You're gonna spend all your money on meth, crack, and SpaghettiOs.
Exactly. So we have to keep talking about the SpaghettiOs.
Yes, we do. Yes.
Lower. No.